Are you submitting resumes online and not hearing back? It's possible that your resume might not be compatible with Applicant Tracking Systems. My name's Vida Thompson, and I'm a resume writer and career coach. I've worked with hundreds of clients on their resumes, and I know for a fact that resume incompatibility with ATS is a real problem for job seekers. And I want to tell you a little bit more about how you can avoid this problem. So what is ATS anyway? ATS is a human resources software that's designed to streamline the hiring process for companies. So with hundreds of applicants applying for every opening, this software helps companies streamline the process by ranking applications based on how well they match the job description. ATS is basically designed to save companies and hiring professionals time. So rather than having to read through every single resume out there, what ATS does is it allows recruiters to only review the resumes of the candidates that the system identifies as a match with the skills and requirements of the job description. This way, recruiters can easily look at people that are qualified. Now, with the vast majority of companies now hiring online, it's pretty much guaranteed that your resume will be scanned by an applicant tracking system. The reality is you won't hear back if the ATS doesn't identify your resume as a match for the job posting's requirements. Now, this can happen for two main reasons. First, your resume format is incompatible with the ATS system. And this means that it just won't work. The ATS won't scan it, or if it scans it, it won't get the correct information. Or two, your resume doesn't contain the right content, which means that the ATS won't identify it as a match with the job description. So I know this can seem overwhelming and make you almost want to give up on the whole job search, but I promise you it's really not that hard to get your resume ATS compatible. Think of it this way: try using the ATS as an opportunity to make your resume stand out from the competition. What you need to do is use an ATS-friendly format and learn how to write your resume effectively so that the system will identify you as a match with the job description. So let's talk a little bit more about how to do that. So when it comes to applicant tracking systems, there's a lot of information out there about which format is most compatible with ATS. And if you remember one thing when it comes to format, it really should be this: simpler is better. So here's what I've learned as a resume writer that can help your resume succeed. First, use a one-column format. Two-column resumes don't tend to work well with ATS. An article from JobScan illustrates this perfectly by showing what happens when a two-column resume is uploaded to a common ATS. I've worked with many clients using two-column resumes who just simply weren't getting results. Switching to a one-column resume with the right content changed their job search results drastically. Applicant tracking systems will be parsing your information into an online database. So the resume should have a traditional structure with specific headings and formatting structures, so it'll be easy for the system to process the data. This includes using headings such as professional experience and education and credentials. Getting too creative in some of these areas could cause a problem with the system. It's recommended to use a common, simple font such as Calibri, Cambria, Georgia, Helvetica, etc., as some of the newer, funkier fonts may not be compatible with the system. The same story goes for some of the more intricate and unusual bullet points. Using these could end up scrambling your most important selling points. So stick with the usual dots and squares. Graphics, images, charts, skills, scales, all these kinds of things aren't compatible with ATS either. So you might love how a chart looks when it showcases your most important skills, but chances are those important keywords will be completely missed when the ATS processes the information. So try to avoid this as much as you can. Your resume needs to contain the right keywords to be matched with the job description. So what are keywords anyway? Well, I define them as specific abilities, skills, and qualifications hiring professionals want to find in a candidate. So luckily, it's not too much of a mystery what keywords you want to use. Companies and hiring professionals tell you the keywords they're looking for in the job description. So your first step is reviewing the job description you want to apply for, reviewing a lot of them and looking for patterns. If some words and phrases appear frequently, it's likely those will be keywords hiring professionals consider important to the role. So keywords employers will be looking for are generally hard skills. And what I mean by this is they're skills gained from experience and training. So it includes concrete terms such as marketing, project management, Microsoft Excel, customer service, accounting, financial analysis. It doesn't usually include things like verbs or adverbs. So if you're seeing a lot of things like directed, if you see that word a lot, that's not going to be a keyword. It really does need to focus on the hard skills. Mimic the language in the job description. So depending on the role, sometimes the keywords in job descriptions from company to company and role to role will vary. So keep an eye out for this. Depending on the position, you may need to edit your wording slightly so your resume is still identified as a match. Let's say you're a project manager, you see a great posting you want to apply to, you have all the skills and experience, but the title is program manager, and the description repeatedly refers to program management. So in order to make sure your resume is compatible, you might have to edit your wording slightly to describe program management versus project management. One last tip. Remember, your resume will be reviewed by a human at the end of the day. While ATS is important, it does not make the hiring decision. It just helps hiring professionals by letting them know which resumes are most relevant to the advertised position. So here's a couple things to remember. No keyword stuffing, and what I mean by this is don't go overboard by inserting relevant keywords everywhere or trying to list a bunch of keywords at the end of your resume randomly. It's not needed. It will turn off recruiters and hiring managers. Second, don't lie. So if your resume doesn't match up to the job description, don't feel the need to, absolutely lie and say that you have skills you don't have. If this all sounds like way too much work, I promise you it's not. As I said earlier, you need to look at all the information I've just provided you as an opportunity to write a resume that will wow both the systems and people that will be reviewing your resume. Interested in learning more? Check out the links in the description below. I've got a lot of cool information on my blog. I've got a resume checklist that you can check out to learn what's working and what's not working with your resume. Thanks for stopping by.